make it personal.
You don't know anything. You don't know anything.
You attacked me personally.
You're so deluded.
Oh, right. I've only been a professor for 51 years.
So the idea that Trump was this great charismatic figure is...
Yes, this guy cannot withstand the heat, the kind of backlash he's received on social media. According to this tweet, Professor Allen, who predicted that Kamala Harris will win the presidency, has just announced he is deactivating his X account and leaving.
Biden's not my candidate.
Well, it certainly sounds like it. And
I predicted Trump. You didn't in 2016.
Okay, brother.
I predicted
Okay.
Reagan in 1984.
Okay, you're the best. You're the best. Okay, so listen, brother.
Thank you.
But I'm trying to see if you have an open mind and if you're being honest with yourself, let alone the audience, because I think you're leading him in a very wrong direction right now. So when you say, hey, the last couple of polls came out, they're not so bad, you understand that it's the aggregate of the polls, because I could show you a poll where Biden is losing by 12 in Nevada. So cherry picking polls is wrong. You know that, right?
You're wrong there, of course. Polls are snapshots and they change overnight. So you can't rely on polls taken a week or 2
So the
weeks
very last poll is the only one that should count, you think?
The most relevant polls, if polls are relevant at all, because they change so rapidly, are the most recent polls, and they're not close. Trump underwater 25 points.
You think it's not close, Allan Lichtman? You sound like you're on a different planet. You think it's not close that Biden's going to blow out Trump?
Nationally.
You know he might resign tomorrow. Are you aware of anything that's going on? The NATO presser is going to be a disaster. He already called Zelensky Putin. He's already got 8 defections at the beginning of the show, and 1 came in during the middle saying he should resign the presidency. And you think that the aggregate polls don't count? That's amazing.
So you Democrats all getting along.
Do you know what is more interesting to me is the fact that Libras are clashing among themselves, or they are burning. At a certain point, when I look at what is happening now, this person struggling to blame this another person, they are blaming themselves every day. And it's amazing sometimes to see things like that. I'm not saying they're blaming Republicans in anything. They are blaming themselves. This guy thought he's God when it concerns predictions. So when it fails, he's not able to own up and acknowledge that what he has been doing is like that. He wants people to still continue to bow to him. Cenk here told him, you don't know anything. You are ignorant. So stop this and listen to people who know something. When I watched the whole segment, I was amazed because it took a very long time to observe this. You have seen this video here. This was when they were all okay. They had no issue, but things turned apart. Now the guy is calling them out for who they are.
I think, look, we could get into this discussion, but one, I think you're blaming the voters. I think that's a terrible idea. And look, I debated Professor Lichtman before. I told him his theories about the keys were absurd. I was right, he was wrong. I said he'd lose his keys.
No, you were
couldn't
not
find
right,
them before
and
the
I was
election.
not wrong, and that's a cheap shot, and I won't stand for it.
Well, who won, brother?
You should not be
who
taking
won?
cheap
who
shots
won?
at me.
Who won?
You want to make your
you
point,
live
make your
in
point.
a total
Don't make it
world
personal.
of denial.
I read your own followers' comments, and they all trashed you, every one of them, and supported me. So
Yeah,
quiet with your personal attacks.
Yeah, come find out again.
Make whatever point you want. Don't
Look,
make it personal.
You don't know anything. You don't know anything.
You attacked me personally.
You're so deluded.
Oh, right. I've only been a professor for 51 years.
On this program, I've never been able to finish a thought.
How many books have you published? No, because you're personally attacking me again. Say whatever you want, but I'm not going to stand for personal
brother, you got it wrong.
Say whatever you want.
You were preposterously and stupidly wrong. So, okay, all right. Can I just finish a goddamn thought ever on this show?
No, not if you're personally attacking. I admitted I was wrong. I don't need you to call me stupid.
Okay.
Can I just say, it's great to see you Democrats all getting along so well.
Who taught you manners?
It's lovely to see a post-election harmony as you all come together again.
Hey, Alan, right now. Hey, Alan, you deserve a tall glass of shut-up juice, so can you just shut up for a second? And let someone who knows what they're doing.
You're so right, Pierre.
You're
so
right.
We're so unified right now. So I will not sit here and stand for personal attacks, for blasphemy against me. You don't need to do that. You don't boost
blasphemy against you? Who the hell are you? Are you Jesus Christ, you loser? Okay, can I just give the correct answer for once?
So I will not sit here and stand for personal attacks, for blasphemy against me. You don't need to do that. You don't.
This is the very first time I'm agreeing with this guy. I understand how a lot of people see this, but how can you say this is blaspheming? He is considering like he is God. You should not criticize him. It is insane, and it has made him to be like this. If you are doing something, expect people to criticize you when you are wrong. When they want to criticize you, oh, you start telling people that's blaspheming. Are you insane? What?
For me against you, who the hell are you? Are you Jesus Christ, you loser? Okay, can I just give the correct answer for once? Okay, here we go. So guys, you're blaming disinformation. There was disinformation. There was the cats and the dogs nonsense. The points you're making about undocumented immigrants, I agree with, Alan, okay? But that didn't cost the election. The main disinformation was about how the election was going to be rigged. And it wasn't rigged. It was dumb. They won easily. There was no need for that disinformation. You guys are missing the whole point. The people who are at fault are not other people. It is the candidate, Kamala Harris, the previous candidate, Joe Biden, Democratic Party, Democratic leadership. You guys don't want to admit that they're the problem. They're the cancer in the Democratic Party. So you blindly lash out at the voters, at information, at social media, and you want to shut down anyone who disagrees with you. That's not the correct answer. There are three wings of the Democratic Party. There's the establishment wing that the great majority, almost everyone on television supports and kisses the ass of and does propaganda for. That wing has led to disaster. They lost to Donald Trump twice, nearly lost to him 3 times. And then the other wing is called the progressive wing, but those are two different sets of people. In the progressive, so-called progressive wing, what you have is the identitarian left, the people who do what the right wing would call woke politics and identity politics, and that is disastrous. That's what the trans ad was at the end, and it cost us. The most popular part of the Democratic Party is the populist left. That is the Bernie Sanders 2016 campaign. That part says, let's do super popular economic proposals like paid family leave, higher minimum wage, universal health care, public option. Let's do all of these things. And the establishment goes, no!
Taking a look at this pollster, the problem I have with this man is the fact that he is having that God complex in him and it's putting him down. When you look at all the keys he put out about the economy, he is biased. He didn't just give let me push this to Trump. All the polls were saying the same thing, but his was never for Trump. Everything was going to Kamala. That is where everything fall off. So when I look at him, not looking into it to figure out what actually happened, struggling to defend or get angry, deactivate account, to me, it is crazy. If you are a public person, like you have done this for years, not all the times you'll be right. There are some times you make mistakes. You get backlash on social media, be able to stand up, be able to resist. Like what I saw, deactivate your account. Just show how exactly who you are. Now, this thing here is making a lot of... That is a problem the Democrat Party is facing. They don't want to acknowledge that.
On screen. Sonny, you have a legal...
I do. Absolute prick. I can't stand him. But anyway...
Hey there. How are you doing? If you watch this show regularly, I'm guessing you're not doing great. Yeah, me neither.
Let's be honest, it was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants.
What will the rest of us be doing on day one? Now's the time to stand in solidarity with our friends, with our neighbors.
Well...
Bishop Vigano, he says that
I've never really paid a lot of...
And saying it is... But that's okay, because you know what? Listen, this is my mother's celebration.
And I think the bottom line...
Some of this, and think about this.
The challenge of sorting through...